As you probably know, President Trump signed an executive order banning men from participating in women's sports just a few weeks ago. But as you could probably guess, blue states have decided they're simply not going to comply with this executive order. This happened in California this week. Thing that never happens happened in Maine just last week. You can pause to read. But you know what happens when you have people, or in this case states, that don't comply with federal law, and you have a president in the White House who enforces the law? Let it sink in that there are states that would rather lose federal funding, ultimately hurting their entire state, than enforce the law that women's sports are only for women. Looks like we have made it to the find out portion.
Okay, well, you didn't answer is...
I don't know any Democrat ran for whether women or men playing sports. I know no
they're
Democrat
out there advocating
that ran on high school sports. Well, I haven't, and I don't know of them. And if they do,
I hear a lot of Democrats.
I'll let the high school athlete.
I hear a lot of Democrats standing up for illegal immigrants. And they don't want to deport them. They want to have sanctuary states and cities. I hear a lot of Democrats like Kamala saying she's against fracking and drilling until she's running for election. I see a lot of Democrats, do support men their rights to play women's sports. And you're not addressing those key issues that are.
It's the key issue. What the High School Athletic Association decides who's eligible to play what sport is the key issue. We're going to continue to help people with health care, with medicine.
Yes, Bill Maher is sending out a warning to Democrats if they care to listen. I'm going to show you that complete video. It is 5 minutes long. When you take a look at this, Bill Maher in a heated debate about trans with Pod Safe American host, where he warned Democrats that they will keep losing elections if they continue to die on that hill. Maher, you want to lose every election, just keep coming down on the side of parents coming in second, and who get to decide what goes on with my kid context. That's the truth. Recently, we have seen bills Trump putting out, men should not compete in women's sport. We have seen that. And Democrats encourage everything like this. If you ask them today why they lost elections, they won't be able to say.
Do I think in most of America they did that in schools? I don't. But I think in enough of them, in enough far left places, they did constantly have this idea in the minds of children that maybe you're not in the right body. I mean, the New England Journal of Medicine advocated for taking sex off of a birth certificate, I believe. It was like you're assigned sex at
assigned
birth.
Sex at birth. Yeah.
You're assigned.
I think that's right.
I was assigned it by my when I was born. Yes, and again, to tell kids it doesn't always have to be and isn't always the default setting, but that's a different mentality than they put in the minds of kids. And that's why this debate goes on. And the fact that you think, or a lot of people on the left think that even if you just have this debate, it makes you a bigot. You just have to roll over. You asked about the Biden administration. That was their position. If you even question this, you're some sort of a bigot. And this is new science, and it has to do with children. And it's not going to look good in the future, that position.
Can I just respond to something?
Now you can.
Now I can respond? All right. Can you just All right. Let's just do. There's a lot. You definitely said your piece.
Just say your bullshit while I'm in the bathroom.
Just stay for 1 second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding.
All right, I know. Okay. A lot of things there. First of all, this is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, look, there are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart and they go wrong and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons. We say,
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that wait, let me finish.
I'm just
Can I finish?
Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No. You're right.
And what?
Yes, excuse me for interruption. This is just common sense. It is difficult for a Democrat to have an honest conversations, like seriously, because they are always scared, like, I will hurt this person, I will hurt this person, because of these numerous things they have adopted. You criticize this person, oh, this group will be hurt. You criticize this group. So they don't just even want to talk about any issues, reasons they are facing these difficulties. I have seen this over and over, and I disagree with Bill Maher on certain issues, but what he's talking here make a lot of sense. This is something that we should not even be having like a debate. We should not be having on a podcast. It is very normal, common sense that these things are supposed to be like that. But Democrat came and turned the page. I'm glad that Trump came back and it restoring everything. In fact, restoration is going on.
There are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves... I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it. And that gender-affirming care saves a lot of lives. And the truth is, we talk about these edge cases, talk about athletes, talk about locker rooms, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a very small group of people that just want the opportunity to live and express themselves. And there is a war on that group of people from the right to make salient extreme cases, edge cases, not for the purposes of stopping those, but for doing what the Trump administration is doing entirely, which is stopping all gender-affirming care.
In the front page of the New York Times, a woman, I forget her name, and she had done, like, it was a 10-year study, did not release it on purpose because she said it would weaponize the argument from the other side. So in other words, it came out not the way you wanted the study to come out.
Yeah.
Not what you said, that it's, all the studies show that. No, it is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything, yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious that this should. It's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
But the reason because it is a hard question.
Right.
Now we're back at there's only two sexes, which is ridiculous, although I'm glad I'm in one of the ones we're keeping.
You can't. And again, like, you can be for everyone having rights. You could be for people not getting bullied.
Yes, this was my best topic. I think 2 years ago, I used to cover this every single day. But along the way, when social media platforms came in and start going after people, I stopped. There is no justification you can even put for on this. What Bill Maher is saying here, it makes sense. Yes. I usually put this out, like, allow people to grow up and take decisions on who they want to be. Yes, not doing this to children. It is crazy. If I see any person doing this, in fact, let me not go there. The decision these people encourage, like this guy, is struggling to justify here. It is not okay. There is never a day I will see it and accept it. It is not okay. You are doing this to a child because a child got one day telling you, I like women dress, I like this kind of dress. The child doesn't even know the difference between left and right. You will just pick up that and conclude that this child wanted to be a girl and start taking certain decisions. When they grow up to a certain age, they start regretting that decision. That is a problem. I know a lot of people. I did the transition. People coming out, testify, sue doctor. I saw that every single day when I was doing this topic. Now, this guy is sitting here still struggling to justify it. Crazy. Thank you guys for always being there. God bless you abundantly for sharing out my videos. If you notice, I usually put short clips at the end of my videos. That is just for YouTube algorithm. You can stop here, no problem.
Justification, she was asked this week.
There was a meeting behind closed doors a short time ago between the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass.
Departments.
When I talked about it, it's from the city, from the...
I mean, I don't know how many sets she visited, but everybody was like, and you get, the closer you get to the actual set where the shooting is, and then that red zone.
And he did this little dance, like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas, speculating, we're going to have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh, show it to him, Jamie. It's so creepy.
Around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
Never in California questioned whether or not we as taxpayers in the largest state in the union should support the people of Louisiana at a time of emergency and need. We never condition it.
These people don't actually care. They're not actually trying to find a solution.
If you don't know, Karen Bass is a goner. She's gone. There's no chance of re-election.
The city will only purchase from vendors that support DEI, said the...
I remember when we had a fire when Trump was president, and he came in and he said, "You don't rake. You're not raking." And we all did jokes about it.
Everybody in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel.
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today,
tyranny is rising in the White House.
You are a slave.